Yo, 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 what's going on?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Legion of Geeks. I'm Marcus.
I'm Sean, and we are here reviewing Double Dragon.
Yes, the movie, the movie from 1994. Dude, I was so pumped to do this one because I couldn't remember most of the movie, but I had these like images in my head from when I was smaller, and I guess I used to watch it all the time. Um, and so I was like, oh, dude, we gotta watch this movie.
Dude,
Luckily, it was free on Prime, so
yeah. Yeah, if you
fucking
guys
awesome.
want to pick it up and watch it when we're done here. Speaking of small, Melissa was actually 2 years old.
2 years old.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I definitely wasn't that small, but apparently I watched it a ton because when I was watching it, just for this episode, like
Yeah.
it brought back a ton of memories that I didn't know where they came from. Just a ton of shit just came back and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like
Yeah, dude.
this is where that image is. This is where, blonde short-haired Alyssa Milano came from, like with,
Yeah.
her graffiti jacket." I'm like, I remember wanting a graffiti jacket growing up, like a long like denim coat, and I had no idea where the hell it came from, but
Totally. Yeah. And a Bobo when he gets changed like
oh
that.
my gosh, dude.
You can remember him scaring the shit out of me. And we'll pull up the images later,
Yeah,
but when we
yeah.
get into it. But yeah, we got clips, we got photos, we got all kinds of shit for
Yeah,
you guys.
fun
So
facts. So yeah, if you're ready, Marcus, we'll go back in time to 1994.
yeah. Oh, and we didn't mention this is gonna be a new segment for us called Retro Relapse, and this is the first in that series.
Yeah,
So Double Dragon episode 1 of Retro Relapse. I'm fucking excited, dude. Let's get into it.
same here. Let's go. All right, we're going back in time to 1994. You
Yes,
ready?
I'm
Let's
so
go.
ready.
The little Wayne's World time
Yep.
warp. All right, guys. So this movie, I'll let you take it from here. Let me get off the poster. But we can get right into it. We got the trailer for you guys queued up. So if you haven't watched the movie ever or totally forgot about the movie, check this out. This was their promo footage in 1994. So this is all you need to know right now.
2007, Los Angeles. The city has changed. Cops rule the day. Punks rule the night. And one man wants to rule them all. There's only one thing he needs to succeed.
This is only half. Find me the other half now.
Who's got it?
It magnifies the power inside you. This half gives power over the body.
Alright, so where's the on button?
Now, two brothers will stop at nothing to protect their
It's amazing, dude.
And a madman will stop at nothing to possess it.
You love this. Let's have some fun. Who wants gum?
If they succeed, they're heroes.
Sweet kid,
But
dude.
if he does, they're history.
Watch your step.
Yeah.
Time to see you guys.
Actually, really well cut together.
You want to watch it again, right?
Dude, I'd watch it again. A Bobo. Oh, dude, yeah.
The money shot, dude.
Oh, the money shot.
T2's Robert Patrick, Scott Wolf, Mark DeCastos, and Alyssa Milano. Double Dragon.
You said it. We don't really have to wait, do we?
Fire, dude. Fire movie trailer, man. That is
That was not bad.
The state of the
Um,
art.
just to give everybody, if you don't know what Double Dragon was, I mean, I probably should have mentioned this first, but it's actually an old late 80s game. I want to say it's 87 was when it came out in the arcade, and it's
Mhm.
a old side swiper. So you just go to the side and you're the Lee brothers, and you go and you just kick ass the whole time. Really, really fun. I mean, the premise of the game is really easy and really fun to get through and simple, but a lot of fun. And that's where the movie was based off of.
Yeah.
Did you ever play it, dude? Did you ever play the arcade game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually still have a copy. I think I got it through Steam. It was available. I don't know if it's still on there, but yeah, I play it from time to time, dude. Like oh
Dude,
no, actually, you know what? It might have been Streets of Rage, but honestly, like super
it's the
similar
same thing.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a ton of side scrolling street fighting random, 90s characters games. And
Oh
dude,
yeah.
real quick, Melissa had a great idea. She was like, I think next time you guys should dress up 90s style. So whatever movie we're watching next, dude, I think we got to. I think we got to dress up for that time period.
Let's do it. Yeah, we should have wore the fucking ninja outfits that they got going on right now.
Yeah, we could have looked exactly like the poster I shitty photoshopped. So
Dude,
that-
at first I thought that was the poster for the movie, and I was like, I don't remember them fucking looking like that. That looks weird. and then and then I was like, oh shit, that's us. That's our face.
that's our
Um,
fucking faces, dude.
yeah, like a warped version of our faces.
Horrendous.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
But that shit made me laugh. All right, dude. We can get into it. If you want to go by your scenes, you can kind of queue up the first one here.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I do want to say because it just made me laugh, but this since this did come out in '94, and it was PG-13 for, and I want to say what it's PG-13 for. It's PG-13 for smoking, for foul language, and violence. I don't know. I mean, we watched this movie, dude, and I'm not sure what kind of foul language was used in the movie to
There
make it PG-13. They didn't say shit or anything like that. They didn't say
I
damn.
I
They didn't
think
say anything.
I think there was one. There might have been one F word. But it was like completely underused. It almost seems like an editing mistake. I actually don't have the clip of it, but just off the top of my memory, like there's one, and it's like some guy walking away, and he's like, "Oh, like that's it, dude."
I didn't
That's
even
it.
hear that, man.
Yeah, it's yeah, and then the violence is hilarious. I got a fun fact later, but this first scene, pretty hilarious, dude. You caught this one, Marcus, and
Yeah.
the clip I got, the movie I pulled it from, actually, totally legally, I pulled it from somewhere, but it
'Cause we own it. We own
it,
the movie.
it didn't have the audio, but I think you can still find it hilarious. So Marcus caught that this guy coming up right here.
Dude, like so it's the words that are coming out of his mouth are clearly they're not English because they're subtitles, but the voiceover that's saying what he's saying in his language is completely like it doesn't match at all. Like he's the words he's still saying words, but the voice is stopped like halfway through. And it was
Yeah.
like the funniest shit ever. It was like, oh man, this is like the first scene of the movie. So you're like, okay, that's what kind of movie this is gonna be.
Yeah,
This is gonna be.
I think this is before the title. So yeah, if you guys, click through this on Amazon Prime, this first scene is hilarious, dude.
Stop talking, but like his mouth kept moving.
Yeah,
That was the funniest shit, dude. I was like cracking up yesterday.
it's
I hadn't
classic.
seen anything like that in a long time.
Yeah, it's classic horrible lip syncing. And then yeah, if you want to get into the second scene, if you're ready.
Yeah, dude. So you know what? Actually, I'm gonna start off real quick before we go. But Robert Patrick, he's actually voicing over this intro scene, and he was just explaining the dragon medallion and like the story behind it. And the story goes for this movie is that there's an ancient Chinese king. He created this medallion, and it was too powerful to be wielded by one person. So he ended up breaking it in half and gave it to his sons. One half, which had the power of the body, and the other it had the power of the soul. And so that's what the meaning behind the medallion was, and why they're. I don't know. I forget how it got into the one dude's hands. Oh, it's because they get it from the scene, right?
Yeah. So this scene, they're trying to track it down. It was originally split up and hidden. So they're tracking one of them down. One of them is like on a total separate continent. But this one they track down to this village and then chase it down. And I think I don't know if they just chased down, like a monk was running away with it and he sees it right after this. And then I think they just snatch it. But yeah, my bad for jumping through it. But yeah, we should, we'll go through the movie for you guys. This is obviously the first scene. And then I don't think, do you remember if there's a year jump if they go like 5 to 10 years later is when they're
Didn't
back in
say
LA?
that- It didn't say that. I think this is actually current because that person, that's the chick. We don't know it's a chick.
That's
at
right.
first.
That's right. Afterwards,
Yeah,
yeah,
so she
yeah.
gets the medallion, and it just kind of just goes straight to the next part.
It's just wild because they don't explain like how they get from where, they don't even explain like where they are currently. They just go like, oh, LA 2007. It's like,
In this scene, when they first show up, it just says somewhere in China. It doesn't
Yeah.
even like say where. I thought that shit was funny.
yeah. And it doesn't say the
Um,
year or anything. So
Nope. And that okay, so that so I think she gets the medallion, right? And like the whole time I was laughing too because like everybody in here, there's like these Asian monks, right? And then all of a sudden under her you see her eyes and it's like the bluest, whitest face in the world.
Yeah.
But she's dressed like a ninja. Like could not get any more white. I thought that was funny.
yeah.
But so she
100%.
steals the medallion, right? And then it cuts to the next scene where it shows LA and it says, what did it say? It says like after the big quake in like parentheses on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have that image. Here we go. So it was, right after that, it goes into this image where it says New Angeles.
New
So-
Angeles.
Yeah, so Los Angeles, the big one. Everybody's been in California has been fearing the big one, the big earthquake, since the 90s that we see here. And dude, and so like this movie plays up that fear, it was made in 94, so 13 years into the future was 2007. So sometime in between there, the big quake happened. It the water is horrendous. It overflooded LA somehow. And then like it also made the streets horrible. So like you saw in the trailer, they were saying cops rule the day,
Yeah.
punks rule the night. Like, and it's like this cast of characters. We'll get into it later with some of the images, but the punks include everybody, all bad guys. And I was like, okay, because the video game was made first, and the video game was obviously made, to sell. So they made it, all these random cast of characters. And so since they're just calling them like the gangs, I think they call them gangs in the movie.
Yeah. It's almost like that movie Warriors.
Yeah,
When they had
exactly.
like all the different gangs and different like people, and each gang is like a theme, and they have different clothing styles and everything.
Yeah. So think that, but like not even like as segmented. It's like every person just shows up with like this random ass costume, dude.
Fucking mailman outfits and everything.
Yeah, ready to just beat some ass. Like as soon as it turns like dark, like 9 p.m., they're just out there and ready.
Yeah, they all have a curfew. So in this dystopian future, there's like a curfew. Everybody's got to make sure they're inside by. Otherwise, you just get fucked up by all these gangs.
Yeah, you can get killed and get robbed, and the cops don't do anything because the cops aren't out at night. They strictly end. They clock out at 7 or 8, whatever it is.
Yeah, dude. And so it brings up a good point because the person who's running the streets is the main villain for this movie, which is Robert Patrick, which I could not stop laughing at him throughout the whole movie, dude, because his character is so over the top. He's got, dude, look at him with his fucking frosted tips, like Vanilla Ice back in the 90s.
Dude, no, hey, 100%. That's what his look was inspired by. The designer actually said they tried to combine Vanilla Ice's like popular look with traditional martial arts like bad guy. And so I'm like, dude, this is perfect. The thing that blew my mind is like, because I was like, oh, this movie that was a huge flop, because it was immediately, I think it was targeted as like a bad movie, but it was fun for like kids and shit, and it's fun to rewatch. But he went. I thought his, because Terminator 2 was like his big movie of his career. And so
Totally.
I was like, oh, okay, like after this, like he went and redeemed himself with Terminator. But dude, Terminator was actually 3 years before this movie.
That's
So
crazy.
it's like he had his biggest role and coolest thing, and then he actually said he fully committed to this character, which you can see throughout the movie. But he fully committed, and he did this movie for one reason, because he loves like martial arts. That's why he was so down. And to this day
Like the whole time.
to this day he laughs at it, and he's like, yeah, I thought this movie was gonna be massive and it looked really cool, because I was wrong about that, but but he still says he had fun, dude.
So if you notice, I don't know if you caught this, but every single scene that he's in throughout this entire movie, he's smoking a cigarette. He's chain smoking. He
Mm.
just has a cigarette in his fucking mouth the entire movie. I don't know if you noticed that and caught it, but that made me laugh. And it just gets more and more ridiculous because you notice it, right? And then you're like, okay, is he gonna be smoking in the next scene? And he's fucking smoking in the next scene. And it just like at the most ridiculous times, he's just always smoking. So that shit
Funny.
was funny to me.
I noticed that he was a smoker, but I didn't notice it was every single scene, dude.
Dude, he's smoking all the time, and that shit was so funny.
And it honestly, dude, because so the scene where we first see him, he's voiceovering, the story, and catches us up. But when he comes out, he has super dark sunglasses, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like that was a memory ingrained. I was like, like in my whatever 94. So I was 8 years old,
Yeah.
and like I was like, I didn't know what I was watching, but I just remember thinking like that guy looks hella cool, man. And so that was like the epitome of like 90s bad guy, like dark black shades, like some crazy ass hair, and then just always like chain smoking. So
Chain
it's perfect,
smoking.
man.
And the funniest shit of all is that his name is fucking Kogashuko.
Kokoshuko. Somehow this super white dude with blue eyes,
Yeah, the whitest guy in the
Kogashuko.
fucking world. His name is Kogashuko. So it's just like the most over the top character.
Yeah,
Shit was so
100%,
funny.
dude. So yeah,
Where do we go after that? Oh, okay, so then the next scene after that, after they introduce you to the villain, we go to a fighting ring, right? It's this like underground sort of fighting place, and that's where we get introduced to the Lee brothers. And so they're fighting, right? And you kind of pick up on who they are a little bit, their personalities. What is it? Jimmy is the one that can actually fight. And like one of the notes I had was like they casted that dude because he actually could fight. He had like skills.
yeah,
But then his brother Billy doesn't know how to, and like the actor I guess doesn't know how to fight because you can like he would do all these
clearly
like
tell.
yeah. He wasn't fighting. He didn't have skill. He was just kind of like throwing punches, and would use tactics to like that we're not fighting.
Yeah.
Like playing dirty.
Yeah, in this first scene when it opens up, he straight up like jumps on the dude's back and kind of swings on him, and it's like, and you're at a karate tournament, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
And he's like laughing and making sounds like gorilla sounds while he's doing it, and it's just like they were trying to win, and so he's like a loose cannon of the two, right? So you just see right off the bat like what kind of people they are, and so but like one of the things that was fucking funny, dude. I think you have the clip of it, or at least the beginning of it, is that they make you feel like there's like earthquakes happening all the time because like they have this place is reinforced by this like hydraulic press that you have to apparently keep like pumping at all times to make sure that the fucking thing doesn't collapse.
Yeah, because so the way they explain that is that there's constant aftershocks from the big one, and
Yes.
so there's constant aftershocks going out throughout the city, and so of course their solution is just to have all these like basic like car floor jacks fucking everywhere, dude. Every building. You'll see I queued up there's a little commercial, and it's like they tell you to put it in your homes, like put it in everything.
Totally.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, we can
this
watch
commercial
that
is
ad.
so fucking funny.
It's so good.
Let's do it. There's the jack, like the little hydraulic jack.
Yeah, because the karate tournament's getting crushed.
It's
course-
so fucking like dangerous, dude.
watching the Raiders Gladiators game on TV, and suddenly the house collapses.
How embarrassing. But it's not your fault.
It's everybody's fault. That's why you gotta go to Jack City.
Where you can choose from hundreds of decorator colors.
So remember, if you didn't buy from us, you don't know Jack City.
Oh my god, I love that, dude.
It's so good. Yeah.
I don't know if they meant to do it that way. I hope so. And I feel like maybe they did, but just like the whole tone, that just perfectly like encompasses the movie and like the vibe of this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And I'm a huge fan of using in like real world commercials randomly, like in movies, like to explain shit. And dude, like this is, like you said, the whole feeling encompasses the whole thing, dude. And I just want to like point out, like the 90s, they did not think like how anything looks, dude. So of course, having this tiny dude like be the guy that's running around doing the jacks, I'm like, that's just messed up, dude. That's like
Give the job to the smallest person in the room. It's like you're gonna give the job of like holding up this whole building to not kill everybody in there, to the smallest guy in the room.
Dude, and scientifically, it's like he's the worst person for the job because it like depends on physics and angles. So it's like to him, like that's like a huge like pump. But if you get, it like a 6 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot dude, it's just like a car jack to him. So it's like, bro, like that's whoever hired him for that job, they're fucked up.
When you see he has to use his entire body to like pump it up. It's not just his arms. It's like getting the whole thing in there.
Yeah,
So he's really extending his A4.
100%, man. He has this extended the whole way just to keep the building up, dude. Oh god. Yeah, and then, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, from here.
They have the because this was part of, I think, like the news, like they were showing like news segments, and I like that they would show random news parts of it throughout the movie. But well, the funniest, dude, it was so random. Like, it was one of the randomest things. They do the weather segment, and fucking guess, you remember who the weatherman was? He plays himself. No, remember? So Andy Dick was the weatherman.
That's right.
Yeah,
I caught that, but I didn't. Oh my gosh, I didn't put in my notes to pull up. But yeah,
that was just like, what? It's so random to have Andy Dick, and it said his name too. So he was playing himself, and he was just acting like himself, and that was just the funniest thing, dude. I was like, dude, that is the most random fucking casting ever.
I wonder if that was when because he was on MTV. Was that how he got his start? I don't remember. It's been so long since I like looked up or thought about Andy Dick, but yeah, man,
It's okay.
I remember.
Andy Dick doesn't need to be talked about.
So that was crazy. So yeah, right after this, they give you like a weather report, and it tells you it's like acid rain or something. Like it's basically all this dystopian weather.
Yeah.
Like just kind of like doubling on like how bad New Angeles is.
Yeah, New Angeles. Cool. And then I guess what is after that? Oh, they just they're leaving, right? They leave the fighting place. The brothers, the Lee brothers, they get in their car and they're driving home, and the curfew has been passed. So it was because they stayed and fucked around and like fought and started a whole thing.
They started it
running out.
They started a huge brawl, and that's the scene that we jump on into. You see the crowd getting involved, and of course, now everybody's out in the streets when the gangs are out.
So they're driving, right, and then they see somebody that looks like they need help, and Billy's like, oh, like, she looks like she needs help because it's this girl from like the silhouette of a woman from behind looking into a car, and they pull up, and then that's when the gang starts to attack them. What are they called? I think the Mohawks.
Yeah, the Mohawks.
I think the Mohawks. Yeah, because they all had Mohawks.
Of course.
And that's where we meet a Bobo. So that's the first time we'll see him. I don't know. Do we have the photo, dude?
Yeah.
Or no?
I have it queued up. Of his transformation. I was gonna go over that a little bit later, but I
get into it now. Then
what's that?
I probably don't have to get into that now. Then until it's time, because like we didn't. He changes.
He changes. He goes.
Yeah, he changes.
He goes through a diva, wardrobe change. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's got some major changes throughout the movie.
Cosmetics,
emotionally and physically. So
the The Mohawk guys are so like ridiculous. They were making me laugh just because of how cheesy it was, and like how just the whole movie up until this point was just the cheesiest thing ever. But not in like a cheesy I can't stand watching this. It's like I want to keep watching this because this is awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's the future past thing. It's like what they thought 2007 was gonna be in 1994, dude. It's hilarious. So
Could not have been more wrong.
yeah. This next scene is we catch up to them to after the Lee brothers stop, try to help, and then figure out it's a trap, and then now they're running away from the Mohawks. So that's where this one kicks in, and we'll go over it. It's
A 90s car
hilarious.
chase.
Yeah.
So the car is awesome. I love their car.
Dude, and their motor.
Yeah. So, I know you wanted to bring this up, but the way I love their nod to Back to the Future too,
Yeah.
with how to fuel their car, they just throw trash into the engine
Yeah.
and it just converts it to fuel.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, dude, I guess there's freaking trash everywhere that you can see. That
Yeah.
solves your gas crisis. But look
Dude,
at these
yeah.
look at these graphics. Look at the GPS.
I love how he calls them ugly.
Yeah, the Lee brothers,
Yeah,
the ugly.
ugly and homely, I think, or something,
Yeah.
right? It's so awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The
Is the
classic,
close-up of the mouth?
yeah, the classic horrible close up on the screaming mouth, dude.
That's why I
that
feel
made
like
me
they did that
crack
shit
up.
on purpose. They had to. I think they just leaned into the whole vibe of it, and just like, you know what, if we're gonna go cheesy and weird, let's just lean into it and go all the way.
Yeah, it's like it's PG-13, but let's make the 6-year-olds that sneak in laugh. But
It had me fucking laughing. I mean, I might as well be 6.
yeah. Same here, dude. It cracked me the hell up, dude. And this is the first time we're showing you guys, but yeah, here's another white guy, and he's a Lee brother. Just to bring it up, how
Sure.
often it happens in this movie, dude. Somehow those two guys are brothers.
Yeah, Jimmy and Billy.
Yeah.
That was so good.
And just the GPS and the driving assistant graphics, dude.
Just the fact that the camera had to like pan into their open mouths.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Ooh, dude. Dude, oh my gosh, dude. But the car design, I will say I love, because I also feel like I think the first National Lampoon, it feels like the National Lampoon like station wagon. It feels like they married that with the Back to the Future car. I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude.
I don't know the years on the first National Lampoon Vacation movie, but I want to say it was like late 80s, maybe early 90s. So it looks like, dude, they just married that one up for that. And then the Bobo's like bread truck is so sick. Their armored car, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like all their cars have to be like Mad Max style.
Yeah, dude. And
You can't get like attacked or anything. You have to have some sort of shields.
yeah,
You know?
shields and then also teeth. So somebody was like, yeah, man, it's got to be tough and look cool. Like,
Yeah, and look cool.
because my name's a Bobo and I'm driving an armored vehicle, dude. Oh, that's hell funny, man. And then also what we don't show too, that was another cool thing, was he gets blinded, like they throw something on his windshield and he can't see. So he turns on this, like, he's like, okay, I still got it. And it's like this video game mode. So he's driving off of GPS, but for some reason he pulls out a joystick to control it when like,
Yes.
and it's
It's
like,
like, what do
dude,
they
your
call it?
steering wheel still works, bro.
Yeah, it's like what's the thing? It's the thing that they use for submarines, where they
Yeah.
pop the little thing up, and there's like, it's like binoculars, right? You
Yeah,
like pop them.
periscope. But it's
Yeah,
it's like
there you
a
go.
digital periscope, which was
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's like, what? Um,
It's
I love it, dude.
hilarious though. Yeah,
And once I guess like plowing forward a little bit, once they get out of the car, right? Because they crash and they get out. Just some of the dialogue that they were saying was really funny. It was super cheesy. It was, they were like, because he's got a mohawk, right? It was like, "Hey, broomhead, we're gonna sweep the floor with your skull," and they're like getting in a fighting position. Yeah, it's just still so 90s. I loved it.
it's great, dude.
Just
And
like that the whole movie.
yeah. Oh man. Yeah, the dialogue is super cheesy, you know. It's like all throughout like 90s. Like if you had to, you know, show a kid or show somebody who wasn't around like, "Oh, you know, what was the 90s like?" It's like, "Here's this movie, dude. Here's Double Dragon."
Totally.
Like they encompass everything. Um
So then I have in my notes too, 'cause, like again, they show Robert Patrick again, and I wrote down, oh shit, he's still smoking. You know, he's still smoking cigarettes. So that is just something. If you guys ever go back and watch the movie, just know that happens, and that shit is funny to me. I don't know, like his
it's
when they casted him, I don't know if that was like his choice, like, hey, I think I need to just like, because I know actors like to use props, right, to make themselves feel comfortable in a scene or like
yeah.
overact or something. They just like to have a prop. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know whose call that was to be like, hey, dude, do you want to just chain smoke the entire movie?
Dude,
And
and
also, yeah,
it works
we're
so
gonna
well as like a bad guy.
yeah, we're gonna get you to frost your tips, but also have a very Chinese name, and then we want you to chain smoke the whole time,
Yeah.
um, and then also be a giant asshole the whole time too,
Yeah. And a cheesy
in
giant
a cheesy
asshole
way.
thing.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
uh,
And we know he can act because you know Terminator 2 was super crazy well done, like serious like bad guy acting. So
yeah.
and that's what blew my mind too. I keep coming back to it because the graphics in Terminator 2, you know, it was probably just a difference of budget, but the
Oh,
graphics
for
were
sure.
above and beyond for apparently for their time in 91. Because
Yeah, man, that shit looked good.
yeah,
One of my favorite movies of all time.
yeah, and
I love that movie.
as we'll see in this, like the graphics, it's they're fun, but man, they couldn't get any more worse.
No, dude, they had a pretty small budget for sure.
Yeah.
They probably used all their money on Robert Patrick to cast him as the villain. Is that, 'cause I'm sure all the money he made from T2.
Oh yeah.
Um, this was probably he was like, oh, dude, like now I'm a superstar. I can go do movies. I can do anything I want. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go do Double Dragon. And then now you see like what they made him look like. I bet he was in the mirror. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what I signed up for.
they,
Uh,
did they just bleach half of my head?
yeah, dude. Like what? But I love it though.
Yeah.
Like looking back on it now, like this is awesome. He looks
Yeah.
like he's about to like get into a fucking like rap, like a '90s rap music video.
Yeah. Yeah, he's either going to sing Ice Ice Baby or, you know, roundhouse somebody.
Or
Either way,
both
he's smoking a
at the
cigarette
same
still.
time. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's still smoking a cigarette.
Oh man.
He
Uh
definitely extends his A4 for sure.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's doing it right now. We can't see it in the scene, but you can tell by the guy on the right, man. He's just like, "Oh my gosh."
He's metaphorically extending his A4 into our minds.
All right, dude. Um
Yeah. I
shit.
mean, when do you think we're gonna play that one out?
No idea.
I don't know.
You guys will
It
be
still it still
yeah,
has some staying power. I think it still makes me laugh.
it does. They'll yeah, they'll let us know when it's time to move on to the A5. You know, something bigger and better.
um, so at this point, right, since the trap didn't work and Nobobo couldn't get the other half of the medallion, when he tried to steal it from them, he comes back. He tells Robert Patrick, and then he gets mad and he puts him in like a change. I don't even know what the fuck it is, but it's some like weird machine that alters his physical appearance. Gives him supposed to give him the strength of 10 men. But because he already had the strength of 10 men, he was just like really scared. Man, dude, he started screaming like bloody murder when he was there. There you go. There it is.
There it is, man.
So, and even, I remember, dude, as a kid, it scared me because it was so young.
Dude.
And like he already sounded weird, just regular,
Yeah.
and then turn into that, and it was just he kind of looks like Clayface too from Batman, the animated series.
Yeah. Dude, he kind of looks like chewed up bubblegum, dude, but like you're
Or
you're
like
right.
a piece of shit. I don't know. Um,
100%, dude. But yeah, so that's his full transformation. Like on the left, he was already probably like, like 6'5", like 250. He was this big dude. And then they just like pumped him full of air, dude. And like, I can't even imagine how many hours of prosthetics to go through and then to be like, what the hell is this?
yeah. What the fuck did you guys just
But
do to me?
I will say, I if you guys can, Google a Bobo Double Dragon video game, because they again, we gotta keep it, at just in our brains that like they're what they were coming from and trying to relate to was a video game. So like
Totally.
they did a decent job of relating it to that, but
That is
holy moly,
very,
dude.
very old arcade video game boss looking.
Yeah, just
Like that's the final boss.
muscles on muscles. You don't worry about any actual like human like, is there a muscle right there in the human body? Like,
Dude, he can't even as
from
an
the back of
actor.
the head to like the mid shoulder. Like, no. Like,
That's your neck muscles. Like
yeah.
his neck muscles are just now pumped.
That's that's
Um,
that's an airplane pillow, dude. Like,
look at it. Um,
I
dude, poor the guy that played him, like poor him, because like you can't even turn your neck or anything. You got to like turn. It's like Batman,
yeah,
like Michael Keaton in the suit. You have to turn your entire body.
dude, he can't put his arms down. He's like the kid from A Christmas Story, like
Yeah,
when they
like
like put him in all the winter jackets.
yeah, yeah.
Dude,
They try to put his arms down. They just keep
yeah.
going back up.
Yeah, and you see how pumped up his biceps are. His legs are too, dude. So this dude's like in this weird like squatting position kind of the whole movie. Like, yeah, I feel horrible, but you'll see,
Yeah, man.
that's why he isn't he pops up back in the movie a little bit. After he puts him in the chamber, he sends him after the Lee brothers, and
Yeah,
he sends them to their, yeah, so in this
to their
dystopian
base.
future, like apparently nobody has a house. They all have bases, and like their base is like an old movie theater, because of course,
Cool.
right?
Yeah, like that's where they're training and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I do have, I guess, because we see a scene before that when Alyssa Milano, like you like she looks different. Right? She has a wig on because she's at home, and we find out her dad is like the police chief of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she got the brother, but they show the brother, and then I wrote this down because he was wearing VR goggles, and it was like riding a roller coaster. And I think we saw a little bit in the trailer. I think they showed that. But just like how far we've come with VR, how back in 94 when this came out, they were trying to say this is 2007. And so in 2007, that VR technology was available. And like that was probably blowing people's minds, just like seeing that could be possible back in 94, But
Yeah,
now we have with Oculus and stuff, I don't know
dude,
if anybody's tried it, but I mean, I have one and it's fucking like crazy now. Like your brain can't even tell the difference. So just like how far we've come. He was playing this little roller coaster VR experience, and it was tripping him out. And I remember as a kid seeing that and be like, man, I can't wait for the day that's actually a reality. And now it is, and even more so. Now you're really immersed. Now sometimes it tricks your brain; you can't even think. Like
yeah,
it feels real to you.
yeah, and nowadays, like with the whole Facebook Meta thing, like
Mhm.
it's we're right at the verge of it going even further, man. So it's gonna be insane. And so 2007 was 13 years, in the future from 94. So if we're thinking from nowadays, that's 2034.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
today.
yeah. So that
Yeah,
would be insane, dude. Like 2034 seems like so far from now. So
yeah.
it's
Except
gonna
we're
be
gonna wake
nuts.
up tomorrow and it's gonna be 2034.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm calling it right now. We can record this. So I was talking with a buddy who his son is 2, and his son taught himself from watching YouTube, his colors, his alphabet, um, a
Wow,
ton
no
of
shit.
stuff. Yeah, and so he taught himself just by watching YouTube videos. Like my buddy didn't even like put on certain learning videos. It was just through the algorithm of, you know, what this kid actually likes to watch and like
Yep.
what he's watching for longer periods of time. And then I told him, I was like, dude, when your kid's like old enough and like you're either in a home or, you know, you're far away, like the kid's, you know, he's moved out, he's grown up, has his own life, like he's gonna have VR that comes and like he's able to you know be there with you, but also like still like he won't have to fly to see you, he won't have to do all this, and you'll just
Yeah,
be
dude.
sitting there like thinking you're interacting with him. And I'm like, bro, like after watching this movie, I'm like, that's 100% possible, man. Like say 20, you know, 25, 30 years from now, like it's gonna be nuts, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's already people are, you know, the military uses that kind of technology to train for how to fly planes and shit. So that way you don't die, you know, and it feels real to the people.
Yeah.
Classrooms are gonna start doing that stuff. Now with the whole Facebook Meta thing, and I know we're kind of digressing from this whole topic, but you know, the Facebook Meta thing, that's supposed to be their whole experience now. They're supposed to take socializing to a whole like a virtual like new plane of existence. Now everybody's just gonna join. It's because they call it Horizon, and that's gonna be. I don't know if you saw the movie Ready Player One, where they have the Oasis. You should check that out, dude. You'd like that movie.
I actually didn't, but I know this whole meta thing is completely similar to that movie.
That's where they're going with it, and I can see it, and I know that's what they're doing.
That's
So
crazy.
everybody's gonna just have this. It's gonna be basically life, right? So like life in a virtual plane, you
Yeah,
know? So everything we do, all the people you talk to, everybody's gonna look like themselves, but you know, in a virtual place.
virtual. Yeah,
And you can go and probably,
and
you know,
I don't
play
know.
games, meet people.
Yeah, basically do anything, and without you know without any of the real world consequences yet. And I don't know if you have, Marcus, but or if
Yep.
anybody watching has, but it sounds cool. But then take a dip into the VR chat tag on Twitch, and you'll see how much of a nightmare it can actually be. It sounds really cool, but holy moly, dude, not everybody should be allowed to do that because it's crazy, man. And any kids watching, don't do that. You know, don't go looking for it on Twitch. But dude, VR chat is wild, and I feel like VR chat was like the baby step before Meta.
VR chat is like
Too late.
Pornhub, but for like, yeah, but it's just fucking weirdos that are just like people that all the people that that get made fun of for being geeks and that have no lives are the people that are there, but they're trying to be cool there. So, you know, like trying to
It's
be cool people, and
it
because they try and do that, they come off like giant jerks. You know, they're
it
not like normal people with no social skills, or
yeah
like they don't have social skills, right? So it's just fucking weird. And like there's creeps in there, and there's just some
yeah
people are cool, you know. So I have had an experience before with like with dudes that are trying to hang out and actually like, you know, go have a good time. So it's kind of like you're hanging out with people because they have
yeah
like these settings. You can go sit down at a bar and you can pick up your little fake drink with your hand, and it feels like you're drinking. You could put it to your face and pretend like you're
yeah
having a drink with people, and you actually could be drinking in real life. You know, just have a drink with it, and it kind of feels like you're socializing at a bar.
yeah
And so like through COVID, that was cool to try and just get that experience of like socializing. But then yeah, you meet the weird people who want to come and they're trying to teabag you virtually, and like you're just putting their fucking balls in your face, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? You know, it's like just
it,
the weirdos in there. And then they'll just come and yell at you and say the most random shit ever, and then run away
yeah
or like just be mean like bullies.
yeah.
You know,
I was gonna say it feels like a lot of people who were bullied, rather than turning to compassion and understanding, like yeah, you know, a lot of people on here have probably been bullied, and rather than lead with compassion, they just turn around and bully the next person. It's like,
totally.
dude, what? And the cool things I have seen is like, rather than like virtual like online poker, you can do like virtual, you know, VR chat poker. So it feels like you're
Yeah,
sitting at a table and, you know,
yeah.
meeting people, and then you get a little bit more of the serious, you know, playful people. But dude, it can easily quickly turn into a nightmare, and like, never make somebody not want to do it ever again. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
totally.
yeah, we're going way off the
Wait,
rails on this.
wait, dude. Yeah, we have to try and bring it back in now.
Okay.
Where the fuck did we leave off? So, okay, Robert Patrick and Abobo comes and they try and steal the other half of the amulet from them at their base, right? Or their little hideout, and they are not successful in doing so, but they end up murdering their friend. And for the life of me, and I don't even know why I didn't write this down, but I
Me
have no idea
either.
what her name is, dude.
Yeah, oh my gosh, this is horrible.
She was so dramatic. Like everything that she was like, every scene she was acting in, just kind of like had that like real serious
was
face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
like
was
real.
she was the serious compass on this. Everything else was goofy except for her. We'll see her at the end on one of the last scenes we have queued up.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so yeah, they end up. She was like their family all died. They don't really address it. But she kind of took them in after their parents died. So she was kind of like their caretaker, their watcher. And I think that's when she actually introduces them and talks to them about the half of the amulet or half of the double dragon necklace that she has. Doesn't she talk to them about that like right before she
Yeah,
dies?
she starts. That's one of the things that Jimmy got mad about was that they didn't. He feels like she should have told him about that earlier, so that way they knew that that was a thing. But
Something they needed to
yeah,
protect. Why
yeah,
all these people started to chase them?
yeah. Why are these people trying to murder me? I feel like I should have known that one day I was gonna have to fear for my life. Uh, that's what he that's what he was upset about. So
Makes sense.
I see where he was coming from, but also she was trying to protect them, so I get that part, and also it's not meant to be that deep, but um yeah. So she had been looking out for them. She was the one that was holding the one half of the medallion because it was around her neck in the beginning of the movie. She gave it to Billy, and then now she's dead, right? So she's gone. So she's dead. They leave and they're kind of just walking around figuring
Yeah,
out what they're gonna do. They're upset with each other. Jimmy's mad at her for not telling them everything. Billy wants to give her, he wants to forgive her for everything. He's telling his brother to lighten up. And that actually brings me to a good point. I like the even though this movie is really cheesy, I like the chemistry between the two actors, the brothers. I thought that they played their roles really well,
yeah,
and that they were believable as brothers.
they actually did. Yeah, if you can look past what they look like, they're actually believable as brothers.
Yeah, and they don't even wear. I mean, they don't wear the cheesy outfits the whole movie. Just so
No,
everybody
no.
knows, it's like the very end. But they're wearing regular clothes the whole time. But the chemistry together as actors was really good.
Dude,
And I feel like, dude, if they were to do a movie, and like I've never seen them in anything else other than this, but if they were to do this movie today with the standards that we know for movies that could be like this,
yeah,
and have the same two guys that are the same age that they were when they did this, I think it would do really well. I think I would like cast them again.
yeah, their chemistry would be clear as day. With a lot better writing, it would still
Totally.
come through. Just to back it up a little bit, because 90s movies are filled with the most obvious foreshadowing. So she's sitting there telling him about the emblem, and she's like, there's the legend of the double dragons. One day there will be, uh, I forget if she just said two powers, and she was like, one half of the amulet is like a body, basically like your body powers, and then the other half is your soul. And it's like,
Yeah.
one day these two, um I forget the term she used, but basically one day like two people will come together and be able to harness the power of the double dragon.
Yes.
And like it's like,
And then,
and it's just them three sitting there, like she's talking to like two brothers. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah, and you already, and then one of them has one half of it already.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it's
I
like,
guess
yeah.
3 guesses to who gets the other half.
Yeah, dude, it's super cheesy foreshadowing. But as a kid I was like, oh, what's gonna happen still? Like I had no fucking clue.
Yeah.
But I was
So
also 8 years old.
I guess so okay, so they're walking at this point, right? And
Yeah.
then like they've already forgiven each other and all that.
Yeah, their car dies, and he
The car
literally says, "Now we're pedestrians. Thanks a lot, Billy." Like,
died. So they
so
have to start walking to find. They're on their way to go meet Melissa Milano because
yeah,
Billy has a crush on her, and he wants to go see her. So
yeah,
because they're like her little gang is they do things that are good, not bad. They're like the one gang that does good things for people, and they're
yeah,
called the Power Core.
yeah, and they, we didn't talk about it. So she was wearing a wig in that scene when we meet her. When she's talking to her father, he's the police chief, so he's like, during the day, he's like the man, like he protects everybody. And of course he hates, the power court. He goes, they're just another gang. And she's like defending him at the dinner table, and then like she's actually the leader of the power court. So it's like, it's like
Yeah,
totally like, typical story writing, right? Um and she's like, Dad, no, they're not all bad. Like, it's like, well,
yeah.
she looks
Because
the
you're one
same.
of
She
them.
just
Because you're
wearing a
one of them.
wig. She's wearing a
Yeah,
wig, dude.
she's wearing a wig. I didn't even know that was her, dude, until you mentioned it. Because we were texting, and then you were like, "Oh, that's like Alyssa Milano." And I was like, "What the fuck?" No, yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it. Jesus. I mean, she didn't age, or like she aged really well because I didn't feel like I didn't start knowing about her until I was in my teens.
Yeah,
And
she looks the same. We'll see her in a scene here in a second. But yeah,
I think the next clip we have is a scene. It's a funny scene, right? And so, um, they meet up with or they accidentally run into the gang, the Mohawks from before, right? And
yeah,
so they see them, and then they start chasing them, and then we get into this chase scene,
yeah, because
which I think we have queued up.
yeah, this is where Kogashuko got all the gangs together and put a bounty on the brothers.
Right.
So now it's
Yeah.
the Mohawks
Yeah.
are waiting for him, and then we see every other cheesy like 90s video game, fighting character. I queued this up a little earlier than what Marcus pointed out because you get to see all the costumes, dude. It is so fucking funny. Um,
Yeah.
let's go
Just
ahead
like
and
the
play
game,
it.
just like the arcade game.
Yeah.
There we go. We got the game members.
Mailman.
The guy, the fucking mailman.
And the mailman, he's on the floor in that scene because he jumped off the roof to try and body slam him, and he's like, airmail, like. Yeah, we have the schoolboy. We have some guy who looks like he's wearing like Kanye clothes.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, the Kanye sweaters.
Mailman's getting back into it again.
That sludge? Well, Mel, that stuff's liquid death, man.
That bike.
Or are you gonna go on a motorcycle? Oh, man, look at this baby. You don't even know how to start it. Oh, yeah? Watch this.
Plunk. She made me laugh.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I can see you. No, you can't.
Dude. And then the guy wearing the Kanye sweater like consoles him. He just got his eye poked out.
It's so funny, dude.
It's
I can see you. He's like, no, you can't. Bah.
dude, it's
That
so
made me
good.
laugh so hard when I saw that, dude.
Yeah.
And that's one of the scenes that when I saw it last night, I was like, oh shit, that was one of the ones that I remember that was just been in my head for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't remember it until I saw it.
Yeah, it just
I brought back-
unearths all these crazy memories. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
All the costumes, dude. Yeah. There's another Mohawk guy, and then this guy who tosses that life preserver.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like his wig is so bad. Like if I could just rewind real quick. Like it just looks so bad. And it was like they just threw all these people. It's like they gave him like a rack of clothes and stuff to pick from.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Like here's our Hollywood lot. Just choose from the here, this, or this.
Yeah. 1 second.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it was that like and that guy. I don't know. He looks like he's from fuck. What the fuck am I thinking?
He looks like he's the bad guy from Waterworld, but
Yes, that's actually what I was fucking thinking about.
Yeah.
Dude, good job.
because the bald dude with the eye patch. But yeah, this guy, dude, I was like, this guy's frosted tips. And then I was thinking
Yeah.
about it. I was like, what is he doing? Like breaking the window with a life preserver, man. Like,
Dude, you know that's not his hair. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking.
yeah, it's so
That's
funny,
funny.
dude. But yeah, and then I wanted to point out too, like, still to this day, I got excited when I saw that motorcycle. I was like, oh, dude, I forgot about the bike. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that thing's so sick. He's gonna jump on and ride it, bro. So like, again,
That's
the
cool.
vehicle designer, dude. Hats off to you for sure.
It's what they wanted you to think, and then you just fucking all the wheels fall.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys heard it, but after the bike doesn't work, he's like, "Oh, you want to swim?" And then they call the water liquid death. And Marcus and I, like, before this, we were just like, "Oh shit, I wonder if that's where the name came from
Yeah,
for the
Yeah, I don't
water
know,
that you
maybe,
drink
right?
nowadays."
maybe. I didn't even know that was a thing, dude, until recently. The liquid death
Oh my gosh, dude,
comes in clutch.
well, I'm so still to this day I've never had it, but like their marketing and their art is so sick. Their cans are super cool. And then even the reason behind why they started the company is so sick. We're going off tangent again, but the guys they saw what everybody's doing with like Monster Energy and like Red Bull, and they're like, dude, these drinks are so sugary and so bad for you.
Yep.
Like, why hasn't somebody done this same thing but with water? And so it's like that's where Liquid Death comes from. And if you guys look it up, like all their merch is super sick. It's all like, even the name Liquid Death, like it's all super intense looking, and it's canned water. It's really good canned water, but it's still canned water.
It looks like a beer,
Yeah.
like the label. Like
Yeah.
I thought, excuse me, I thought it was a beer the whole time. And so when I found out it was water, it's like, whoa, that's feels like it's really excessive to take it to that length to make it, to advertise water. But also very cool because I've never seen it done like that before.
Yeah.
Usually water's got these very plain labels, easy for people to read. They want people to understand that like what you're getting is water, but this is coming in a can and you have no idea what it looks like. And it says liquid death on it,
Straight up Liquid Death, and it's got like a flaming or melting skull on it. So it's like it's super
Totally.
intense, dude. It's really well done, like marketing wise, because like we're here talking about it. Like, it's started so many conversations because it's so different and so cool. And yeah, they've grown so fast, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. Sean, he just bring it up because Billy in the scene says like, no way, like we're not jumping in the water. That's liquid death.
Yeah,
And
because
this
the
came out
water's
in
all
94.
polluted and nasty over there. In
Yeah.
New Angeles. Yeah, they actually say it's flammable because it's so like polluted.
Oh, that's a wonderful transition, my friend, to get to the next part because I think that's where we're going with it, right?
Indeed. Yeah,
We're getting better at this, I think.
we're warm now.
Yeah, we're warmed up now. So there's the streets of New Angeles, right? They're getting through it. They're getting chased. Like we don't even know where those guys came from.
Yeah,
They just started. There was nobody on the boat before.
there was a jump though, because there was a jet ski jump, but we don't know.
Yeah. All of a sudden
yeah.
I'm laughing because
Melissa.
oh, man, that, yeah.
Yeah,
They're giving a tour, right? Which is why I like that too when you showed it, because I had that down on my notes. It's the same font as the Universal Studios. It's like they're giving. It's like the Universal Studios still exists. They're just giving the tour of how fucked up things actually are.
Yeah, they just pivoted, and you can hear it in the scene. They're like, oh, the Universal LA River tour. It's like, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, here's a Chinese theater, and it's like fucking halfway underwater. Oh yeah,
Here you go.
for
There it is.
And it's like right in this middle of this, you know, those jet skis have guns operated from their helmet visor because 90s technology.
Oh yeah, that was available in '94.
Yeah, and so anybody watching who saw Melissa, you know, jamming through,
Yeah.
we actually just had a tree fall over in our backyard that knocked over our fence, and so our landlord wanted to come by and check it out. So that's what that was about.
Yeah, everything all right?
Yeah, it was good. It was just in the crazy storms like last week.
Oh
And
yeah,
so- yeah.
When we went from like flammable to over like drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere in the matter of 24
Out of
hours.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fucking
luckily
100 one day, and then the next day it was 60, and it was torrential downpour.
in like the end of October, which just
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense anywhere else. But yeah, dude, everything's all good. The tree actually fell, and then our neighbor's tree actually caught it, so it was like perfect. You know,
Good.
the fence, the panel didn't even get broken on the fence, so it's all pretty much repaired, and everybody's good. So,
Sweet.
yeah, man, back to this shit. Yeah, I put the scene in because, yeah, I just love that they're still trying to make money, dude.
Right. Yeah. Like the world is half over, but Hollywood or Universal Studios still needs to make money. You know.
Still needs tourists, so
Isn't it funny that they put that in there and like not Disneyland or
Yeah.
anything? They probably couldn't. Disney said, "Fuck you guys. There's
Yeah.
no way. There's no way we're attaching ourselves to this." The
Yeah.
Universal Studios, they're like so thirsty for attention. They're just like, "Yeah, we'll do it."
hell yeah,
They
man.
showed them the picture of Robert Patrick and his fucking frosted tips, and they were like, "Yeah,
Sold.
let's do that."
Sold.
Yeah,
I'm
sold.
just frosting my tips right now, so this is perfect.
Hey, we should go back to frosted tips again. We should bring that shit back.
Dude,
It's been like 20 years. You know, we should do it.
yeah, and
No,
dude,
it's been 30 years. Holy fuck!
man, it's been a long time.
It's been a long fucking
but-
time.
I have a feeling it's getting there, bro, because there's like, you know, like a bunch of random people are like bleaching their hair. I think Jonah Hill bleached his hair for a little bit, and so like I feel like, you know, like what comes after bleaching your whole head, you naturally start to grow it out. So people are gonna be like, oh, that looks cool, and then it's just gonna cycle back to frosted tips, bro.
Dude, when is it acceptable to bring trends back around again? Like when can we bring the frosted tips back?
It's got to be 30 years, man. It's
Oh,
yeah,
we're there.
yeah. You can start digging out your puka shells, bro.
Dude, I'm bringing the fucking frosted tips back.
Frosted tips, puka shells,
Yeah, exactly.
Jinko jeans, and you're good.
Those are like the really big jeans, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like huge, oversized ones.
yeah. Where you can smuggle like a child in one of the legs. But dude, great point too, bringing up like just how crazy, you know, Universal was to jump into this, because I wrote down here that the 90s had 6 different video game adaptations, and the first one, I want to say, yeah, the first one was Super Mario Brothers, which was a huge hit.
Oh,
And
you
so-
know that's gonna be a segment on fucking on our on
Retro
this thing.
Relapse, dude, for
Retro
sure.
Relapse.
Um,
It is so new that I can't even remember the fucking name. Um, Retro Relapse. So we gotta. That's gonna be on there. It has to. It's one of my
100%.
favorite movies.
Yeah,
Like
and so
cheesy movies.
that was a smash box hit. So I feel like every other studio after that was like, oh, we gotta have a video game movie. Like, what are the other video games that are hot right
Yeah.
now?
Mortal Kombat came out in the 90s.
Yeah, so
That was-
the 6 were Super Mario Brothers in 93. And then the next one was actually this one, Double Dragon.
Oh fuck! I was gonna try and guess, and I would have guessed wrong.
Oh, you
Let
can
me guess
guess
the next
you can
one. Let me
guess
guess
the
the
next
next one.
ones.
Let me guess the next one. The next one is Street Fighter.
Yep, it was only a few months after this
Okay,
that Street
Street
Fighter
Fighter.
came out.
that is another one that we have to do because I need to watch that one again.
Dude,
Um, the next one was it Mortal Kombat?
yep.
Yes. There's more than that.
Yeah, there's two more.
Son of a bitch.
You
Let me think.
got to be able to guess the next one, but the one after that is random.
Video
but-
game adaptation, right?
Yeah. The last one I want to watch because I do not remember the movie at all.
Dude, this is tough because I don't. I don't remember anything from the
It's
90s. I feel like I'm gonna not know it, and then you're gonna say it, and I'm gonna say fuck really loud.
do you want me to give you a hint?
Can I get Can give me a hint?
It's a what do you call it? It's a second version of a movie you already saw or already said.
Oh, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yep.
Okay, that's the next one.
Yeah, the last one you're never gonna guess.
Yeah, good. You definitely tell me because I
Yeah.
don't know.
It was Wing Commander in '99.
What the fuck? I didn't even know that was a thing, dude.
Yeah, dude. So Wing Commander was like a Star Trek based game, and it was super weird because in the game they had movie clips. It was cool for like a '90s video game to have.
Yeah.
It was a computer game, I think. But they had like movie clips to tell you the story, and so they had real actors, and so like you're playing in this. It feels like you're playing a movie. Then
Yes.
when it came to the movie, they went from, these serious like Star Trek looking actors and cast. They cast Freddie Prinze Jr. as the lead role, and then Matthew, I think Matthew Lillard too as like the second Matthew Lillard, or there's another actor that looks exactly like Matthew Lillard.
How do we not know that? Because I feel like Freddie Prinze Jr. back then was like Brad Pitt. He was like so famous and popular, and so
Yeah.
how do we not know that
Dude.
that was a thing?
Yeah, the movie just got buried after it came out.
Fucking awful. That's why.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
They were like, no, we know we're not going to promote this thing. There's no way. So they try to keep it quiet. Dude,
Yeah,
I have
dude.
when did fucking Doom come out? Remember when The Rock was in that movie?
Yeah, that was we should watch that
Gotta
one.
be early 2000s.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, 2000s is next for sure on Retro Relapse. I feel like maybe we should we started out with we started out with second video game adaptation, but maybe we just go through the 90s and go through 2000s.
We'll just keep it going. Yeah. And everybody, we're figuring this shit out as we go along. So
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
guys
hear
are
the thought process behind it.
Yeah, you guys are growing with us. And if we miss anything that you guys think we should include, then Melissa, no, we're not going to throw Mary Kate and Ashley movies in. But if you guys think we're missing a key movie, you should just let us know.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. This will be up on YouTube. So anybody who didn't catch the live stream, definitely let us know what you guys want to see us react to and watch again.
Yeah.
Because we'll do it all.
Yeah.
Although I feel like for the last 20 minutes we probably haven't even been talking about Double Dragon. I think we
let's jump back in.
Double Dragon. Yeah, let's get back to it again.
Okay, so they're being chased by all the gangs in New Angeles now. There's a bounty on their hand. Melissa's asking, does it have to be a nerd movie? No. We'll cover anything.
No. I'll watch whatever you guys want us to watch, and we'll take notes on it, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Maybe we will do Mary Kate and Ashley, but I doubt it. But
people would watch for like 5 seconds and be like, "Yeah, there's no way I'm sitting through this." Although we can try and tear it apart if it's really bad. Maybe that's part of the fun.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's the key, huh? Just get hammered and then just talk about it.
Tear it apart. Okay.
So right after this, right there, after the, I love how that's the default image. We just go back to Bobo when he makes his transformation. Dude, like maybe going forward, any transition, just keep this stock photo, and then like any sort of transition where we have lull time, or going between topics, just put this up.
And again, people will just be like, "What movie is this?" Yeah, this is Mary Kate and Ashley. You don't remember this scene?
Yeah, exactly. This is when she gets the talk, from Bob Saget.
Okay. So back to Double Dragon. So they're being chased by all the gangs.
They're being chased by the gangs. Okay, so the next clip that we have, if it's the next clip that I think that you're gonna show, is it's still a continuation of the boats driving.
Yeah.
But I wanted you guys to see this because this is ridiculous. They're driving, right? They're riding their boat, and the action did not match what happened to them. if you drive through a sign, right, a street sign, I think that all that's gonna happen is you're just gonna drive through the street sign, and the street sign's gonna just kind of crumble, right, as you drive through it.
You see it all the time on freeways, like people drive through the exit, the freeway exit sign all the time.
There's just debris kind of laying around everywhere. There's not an explosion that happens, so that's not what this is. But I know, like, they're trying to fit in their explosion quota for the movie.
Yeah.
It's not an action movie if you don't have explosions.
Yeah, 80% of the budget was getting, the guy from T-1000. 10% of it was explosions, and then the 10 was the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they all got paid in fucking ham sandwiches. So these guys are in their boats, and they're driving, right? And it's coming up here. But we wanted to just, because this is a funny thing. Look, they're going to drive through the sign. Boom. Look at that explosion, dude.
Fat explosion, dude.
Because there was so much fucking explosives, on the sign that when they drove through it, it just blew everything up. But they didn't die from that.
No.
Yeah, they didn't die. Did you see how big of an explosion that was, dude?
Dude, and that brings up one of my fun facts. So, this, they filmed this actually in Ohio, and so during this whole boat chase sequence, this is where they had their massive explosions. Yeah. In Ohio, in the real world, they announced on the news, like, oh, if you hear a loud boom, it's from, filming of Double Dragon, right? And they let people in. But,
like, what?
They only, this is back then, before the internet, before, anything was like regular, like social media. So, hell of people in Ohio didn't see the news, and after these two big explosions, 210 people in 10 minutes called emergency services, and so they totally overloaded the surrounding area emergency services. They were just like, oh my god,
fantastic.
Dude, there's quotes from people who thought a war was breaking out. They thought they were being bombed. Like,
died, dude, going through that fucking thing.
Yeah,
like that explosion would have killed them.
Yeah.
Like incinerated their fucking bodies.
Yeah, and it's confirmed on his visor, bro. So like, this is the point of the movie where they think the heroes are dead, and like Alyssa Milano's character even hits on the head even more. She's like, now we got the element of surprise. They think you're dead. Like,
because that would have absolutely killed anybody.
100%, man. And even earlier when they said, oh, that's just liquid death, they still survive, and they pop their head out of the water, and they're like,
yeah, immediately after this,
jokes.
when they're in the water and they're like gulping fucking gallons of this shit down.
Yeah, they're cracking jokes. They're back to their old ways, and they're still on their path to go see, the Power Corp.
Yeah, the only, and everybody who's watching, the only reason I wanted to include the scene was just to show how ridiculous this movie actually was. But I mean, it didn't stop me from wanting to watch it, and I would still watch it again after that, because it's so dramatic, their faces and everything.
Yeah, that was definitely the trailer shot, dude. Like, they're like, this is gonna make the trailer. People are gonna watch it.
They're like, oh my god, explosion! Let's go watch this movie. That's gonna be so action packed, and that was the only explosion in the whole movie.
Yeah. That's how they got, all the parents are like, oh, this looks dumb, and then they're like, oh, the whole family should see it. It has explosives. Exactly. That was the 90s. Fucking hilarious, dude.
Well,
so
can we move on?
Yeah. So she
we're getting close here, everybody. We're getting close.
We are. We're getting through it.
We're getting through it. Bear with us. One of the things I guess I have written down next is it shows police people outside, right? And they have to go, there's like oxygen stations outside because the world is so bad, so they have to go and stop and like breathe in oxygen at a station and then put it back. Even though it's only in that clip, that one movie, but our heroes of the movie never stop by an oxygen station. No, they can breathe just fine, and it's fine for them. So, but the cops do need oxygen in order to keep going. So I wrote that down. I thought that was funny. Again, dude, the news channel station shit that made me laugh so hard because they had these random segments. One of them was, and this is actually the news segment, but it was Madonna and Tom Arnold broke up and she wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What the
That-
fuck does that have to do with anything? You know, it was just so random. And those people together, Madonna and Tom Arnold.
Yeah, I think it was one of the fun like oh, I wonder if that'll ever happen. Like the
Yeah.
cheesy '90s trying to make it, bring it back to earth and bring it like current. So fucking
Yes.
funny because Madonna was huge in the '90s. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and they try to what is it, juxtapose? Is
yeah,
it juxtapose? Yeah, juxtapose that with Tom Arnold,
yeah,
who is like she's not gonna be with Tom Arnold. Come on.
yeah. He was the corny, still the corny kind of crazy kooky guy. He still is kind of
Yeah.
not as kooky, not as crazy, but yeah, still very
Uh,
much that character.
and the fucking news channel station, which I didn't notice until at this point in the movie, but it's
Yeah.
got the number. The number was
Yeah.
what was the number?
69.
69.
It's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I noticed that right away. I was cracking up, dude. I'm like, oh, of course. Like they sneak it in this PG-13 kids movie. Just so the dad could be like, you see that?
69. Yeah.
See that, honey?
She's like, you're
Hilarious.
fucking disgusting. And then that's the end of that.
Oh shit.
My next note, dude, is Robert Patrick is still fucking smoking, and I put it in bold capital letters because every time they show him, he's smoking. Whether he's delivering a speech, whether he's trying to be actiony, and also he gets his ass kicked the entire movie. For having the name that he has, the I think it was the Chinese, yeah,
Kogashuko.
Kogashuko.
Yeah. And for being the big bad and evil guy.
He literally, I don't think, hits anybody one time. He just gets his ass handed to him the entire time.
He does have, so our heroes have the body end of the emblem medallion. He has the soul, so he does some tricks where he like gets paper thin and
He
then
looks like the fucking smoking guy, like the silhouette of the cigarette man from the fucking 50s, where
Yeah.
it's like he looks like a piece of paper, but it's also gray. It's like
Yeah.
black and white, and then he just kind of like does this like weird little
the
fucking
wavy
thing, the little wavy thing.
he does the Roger Rabbit bad guy when he gets steamrolled and he gets all like wavy and flat. So he looks like that, and then he jumps into other people's bodies. But I think you're right. He never actually physically fights somebody, which is kind of crazy.
I just remember them. They keep punching him, and like they just keep knocking him to the ground.
Yeah.
And he just never really poses a physical fight towards these guys.
No, and dude, how disheartening knowing that he's a huge martial arts fan and martial arts guy, and like even now today in 2021, he still does martial arts as a regular exercise routine. He's in his like 60s, and so like for him to not do any real martial arts, it's like fucking hell. Why am I here? You bleached my hair and then don't let me kick anything.
Yeah, dude, that's yeah, and I have to.
Torture.
Oh, dude, and he also is cracking his knuckles the entire movie. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Every scene he's in too, he's cracking his knuckles like every single time he's in the fucking scene. So he's
That's
smoking a
90s.
cigarette, he's cracking his knuckles, and then he just got his frosted tips, and I'm like, dude, what?
yeah. That's
This is awesome. Is all I can say is like, this is awesome.
it's the 90s template for the most evilest guy in the movie for sure.
Yeah, and then get the shit kicked out of you every scene you're in.
Yeah. And then so from here they find Alyssa Milano, right? They're talking to her, and then is this where they come up with a plan?
It is. Yeah, they go downstairs, right? Well,
They're
fall into
underground.
their
Yeah.
trap, whatever.
Watch your step. Yeah.
Yeah, watch your step. I thought it was really funny too, the speed at which they read that, because they were like, watch your.
They
Even
have-
though you could read the whole thing,
Yeah.
because it's like, come on, we don't read that
They're
slow,
in the
but
dark. They have a Bic lighter, and you can
Yeah.
see the entire sign, but they're acting like you can see
Well-
like one letter at a time.
yeah,
It
it's
had
for
to
the
be
people
cute.
there. Totally. But But yeah, I think the next thing that I wrote down, which I mean they are there, right? But it shows apparently they saved a Bobo because a Bobo was in the place their place
Yeah,
when the whole thing got burned down, and he still survived somehow.
yeah,
And
he
they
survived the movie theater burning down, and then
Yep.
Alyssa Milano found him, and so she knew the brothers were in trouble because their whole place was burned down. And so,
Yep.
sorry, just to catch everybody up.
Right. So they get him, they bring him back to their base because they want to try to interrogate him. And one of the funny things is like to try and interrogate him, they are forcing fucking like wet spinach down his throat. He's got to eat spinach, and that's the way that they're choosing to torture him. And he's just like farting the whole time. It's so weird.
90s humor.
Yeah,
Um,
90s humor.
Yeah, and
But
go ahead.
go ahead. Oh shit, dude, we did the same thing. Uh there was a scene where he's actually where he's chained up in his little torture chamber or whatever. And he's able to get up and look in the mirror, and he sees himself and just kind of just like starts screaming because he realizes he's a monster and he hasn't like done that yet. And that was their attempt at like connecting with him to try and get on the same level with him because he's about to be heroic and you want to at least like him. So that's your way of being like, oh, I feel sorry for him.
That was the emotional transformation that came after the physical transformation. So
Yes,
so now
exactly.
Bobo's a good guy.
Yes, Aboa's a good guy now.
And I think they get attacked by. Do they get attacked by Kogashuko
They do.
while they're trying to plan to attack him?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's exactly right. So the main end of this movie is like you said, dude. Kogashuko comes and brings all his people there and tries to ambush them, and it they're kind of like they're holding their own, right? They're like because they have the numbers, they have way more people since it's their base.
Yeah.
But I guess which is funny, right? Because they're like, we have the element of surprise, but little did they know he was on his way.
Yeah, he gets
and
the jump on
surprised
them.
Yeah. So that's funny. But yeah, he go ahead.
Just to throw it in there. So he surprises them. It's like a big brawl. They have close-up fight scenes. It's some of the worst fighting you've ever seen. Alyssa Milano, like, she like hits herself more than she would hit somebody else, like, but they go flying. But I was gonna say, to even throw it in there, like, Kogashuko still doesn't hit anybody. The way
No.
they tackled that is he jumps into Jimmy, the red double dragon over here. He jumps into his body, as with the soul amulet, and fights his brother
Bubba.
Billy, just so he can get some more karate scenes in.
Yeah.
But it's his voice talking shit to Billy and like calling him all this shit.
Yeah, calling him all the names that he hates to be called by his brother. And so I mean, I guess he knows that, right? Robert Patrick knows that when he jumps into him, he like knows what to do to push his buttons.
Yeah, and just to throw this this fun fact in there, in this fight scene, they actually have the video game. So he's squaring off with his brother. He's just realizing it's not his brother. It's actually Kogashuko inside of his brother. And then he stands in front of the actual Double Dragon like arcade game, which was like, a cool little meta thing to throw in there.
That's awesome. I didn't even catch that, dude.
Yeah, and
I did not catch that.
Kogashuko, kicks Billy into the game, so he's literally kicking him like, so he's in the video game. And then that's when he starts to fight back, and there's some cool scenes. But eventually this guy gets kicked off. I think he gets kicked off a ledge from like a higher level. He falls. The amulet goes flying. Jimmy jumps down, and like then they have this like brotherly moment again where he's like, ugly, and he's like, no, I'm homely, you're ugly, and he's like, oh, it's really him, like this cheesy shit. And then go ahead.
It's because her name, no, never mind, her name is Miriam, Alyssa Milano.
Yeah,
Miriam turns on the generator for the place because like all the lights came out because he's got the whole thing with the light, right, with his sunglasses.
Yeah, Kogashuko hates light for some reason, undiscovered reason.
Weakened him enough, and then they like kicked him back into his physical form. They like started kicking his ass, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to say something real bad? What do you
Well,
want to say?
No, it just dawned it dawned on me that the reason why he doesn't like light is because he's such a shady character.
Yes, he is.
So
Yes, he
stupid,
is.
dude.
Well, that fits right in with the whole theme of this movie. So,
Yeah.
um,
But yeah,
so they kick him back into physical form, right? They like kick his ass. They just give him like a solid roundhouse at the same time or something, and both because he's able to put them together. He gets them and he puts them together, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so-
That's when he jumps out of Jimmy's body and then he snags the amulet while they're having their brother makeup moment.
yes.
In his like soul form, he goes and grabs the other side, puts the double dragons together, and then he splits apart and turns into these. I thought these guys looked super cool. They're like Japanese, traditional Japanese like warrior masks, and then they're just in
Yeah, I
like
forget what
black
they're
ninja
called.
outfits.
Starts with a K, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
I forget what they're
I
called.
could be wrong, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Um,
Yeah, and then he fights them, but they, that's it. Like, you're supposed to get the idea that they're not gonna succeed against them, until a Bobo tells her to turn the generator on. What did he say?
turn on light. He hates
Yeah.
light or some shit.
Cat is attacking. What are you doing?
Oh man, you're getting Kogashuko'd right now.
Kogashuko.
The shadow cat just came up and just
Shadow Cat. Leave him. What?
but yeah, and
Kogashuko.
you just got Kogashuko'd right now just because it looked like the soul when he's in his like flat soul form. You just see the cat just goes like starts like
You saw that?
yeah. When you guys watch the movie, just dude, it totally looks like a black cat just like reaching to be picked up, and like that's his soul.
I get fucking Kogashuko by my cat.
But yeah, that brings us to our next scene. You'll see a quick scene of Kogashuko splits into the two warrior guys. They're quickly defeated with like a double kick. Like each one of them like gives them a roundhouse, and then it's like the amulet like pops off, dude. I wrote that down as a note, and you guys will see it in the scene. Somehow the amulet just goes like straight up, like, it seems like 20, 30 feet in the air. And then of course it lands in our hero's hands, and this is where the scene kind of takes off from.
Let's do some damage.
Let's do some damage. Oh, the move that they were practicing earlier, at their little hideout.
That kick, yep.
They kicked him together, dude.
Turned the city's lights power back on. And yeah, the amulet just falls from the sky.
It's fucking his eyebrow raise. Oh,
Here they go. The double dragon.
I love that when like he puts the amulet together, Kogashuko, he looks like the fucking marble man. But when they do it, they have the costumes.
Yeah.
As I guarded you.
So that's the girl that was like their watcher.
We don't really have
Yeah.
to wear these, do we?
Dude, and the
Oh, man,
the
these are great.
sparkly effects
Why
are
don't you
hilarious.
yourself the rack?
Yes.
Of course, I don't have to wear the blue one. What's wrong with the blue one? Let's get this chump.
He just gets his ass kicked. He doesn't even know how to fight, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. So burning down the theater was a bad idea.
Is that song that's playing in the background the arcade song?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just stock
Traditional, like,
90s.
cheesy music.
Yeah.
He fucking Kogashuko'd him, dude.
Yep. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and then they make him hit himself.
Yeah.
The standard 90s movie. The bully gets bullied, and that's how you solve all your problems.
Yep.
And then that's how you get all these kids on VR chat who are bullied in real life, and then they go to VR chat to bully. A Bobo's happy and laughing now. Everybody's his buddy. Yeah, so that's basically
Let's do some damage.
the ending there. Dude. And I remember, because, you know, my older brother is 4 years older than me. I remember wanting to do that kick, and I never knew why until now.
Yeah, because it's I mean, you got to be athletic to do that. Oh, one note I wrote down, dude. See how they have gold chains on them?
Yeah.
It was just like a black rope before.
Yeah.
When he had it on him the entire time. But like now it's gold chains.
Yeah. And they Kokushuko touched it, and they're like, oh, he needs a gold chain.
Yeah.
But dude, those sparkles, man. The fucking sparkles, dude. I was dying. I was dying, dude.
Together the double dragons. Guard them as I guarded you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
We don't really have to wear these, do we?
Well,
Is it great?
they obviously they defeat Kokushuko, and everything is all right at the end. Oh, we didn't say that when Jimmy's inside of Kokushuko, he makes him sign a very large check. I think it's like 26 million or something.
Yeah.
To the police department, so that way they have more reinforcements to take the city back and to try and have more police presence. And then that's just how it ends. Like they solve the issue because of that.
We never get a follow-up movie because, you know, Los Angeles is back to normal. Somehow the 26 million solved the quake of the city where you need to jack it up and jack city.
Yeah. They actually they were able to hire somebody a little taller to fucking pump up the ceilings.
Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, so that's basically it. You know, unfortunately we didn't get a follow-up. They weren't greenlit for a second movie. But
Yeah,
dude,
they didn't do well at the box office, I don't think.
no, it was a disaster from the very beginning. I loved it as a kid, but you know, I'm one single 8-year-old, so
it was like a long Power Rangers movie.
yeah. 100%.
But I think I liked it better because I like the actors better.
100%, dude. And I have a feeling, you know, it just got further buried after the box office because, you know, like I said, Street Fighter came out a few months later, and that was already a more popular game, and so it just cleaned up, I think, at the box office. So it just buried this one. And Street Fighter, I think, came out in December, so it's like Christmas. You got the toy releases, you got more Street Fighter games, you got, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it. I think he was a bigger star than any of these guys at the time. So
Oh, totally.
yeah,
I
so it
feel
just
like
got
the guy
buried.
who was playing Billy in the blue. I feel like he, based off of this, like that would have been his break if the movie did better.
Yeah, yeah. This was, dude, perfect. Fucking segue. So this was his first main movie, his first leading role, and then he actually met Alyssa Milano on this movie, and apparently, you know, at first sight when she saw him, she went home, called her parents, and told them, you know, she was gonna marry this dude.
Wow.
They were actually engaged for a year and a half, and then broke it up.
Shit.
Yeah. So yeah, this was his, dude. Talk about it. He, you know, first leading role, karate movie, and you're not a karate guy. You know, you meet, you know, Alyssa Milano, and you think you're gonna marry her and do it. Like this dude was like, you know, this was gonna be his big break if the movie did well.
Well, because like, you know, he's like a good looking guy. He was charismatic, and like, you know, I had never seen him before.
Yeah, he did a lot of TV before this, and then he went back to TV after it didn't do well. So
yeah, that's the thing. I didn't know that they got together. That's like, yeah, that's a great fact, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it doesn't get more 90s than that. You know, Alyssa Milano.
They look like a 90s TV couple. You know?
Yeah,
Or like,
this picture's from the MTV Awards too, so it's like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, dude. So, that's
final thoughts on the movie.
Dude, I loved it. I loved rewatching it because it unearthed like so much shit in my brain. The only other facts I had that we didn't really cover, I'll run through them real quick here. So, some other people that did get a big break and did make it big, was this one of them. There's two guys I want to talk about. This guy Paul Deeney. So, he 2 years before this movie came out, he wrote this story, and so 2 years before this movie came out, his big break was he's actually the guy who created Harley Quinn in '92.
Oh, no way.
So talk about like this dude knew what he was doing, but somehow, the story was written by him. So I have a feeling like it wasn't his fault that this movie was so poorly like received. Because
I don't know why it was poorly received, dude. Like, if it came out today, I feel like they make movies based off of like the feeling of what this was.
yeah,
People try and recreate this kind of thing,
100%.
and like you're not gonna do it as good as this.
No, no, no.
And
And
like,
then
but the funny thing is they were probably trying to be serious back then.
yeah,
But like, they were just like, here's our big break, here's our big movie, we got to try and nail this thing. But like now, people are like, let's try and recreate this vibe by not giving a shit, and by doing it, trying to just be bad on purpose to try and create this sort of like feeling.
this
And then
comedic.
none of that stuff never hits the mark. So I don't know what it was. It's just like a perfect mix of like, cause I don't know. I don't know what it could be, but this one was perfectly cheesy.
Yeah, perfectly 90s time capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other guy I wanted to bring up real quick. So this dude was a screenwriter for the movie, and he went on to become big. He was actually the story editor and executive producer of Breaking Bad, and
Oh
then
shit.
the co-creator of Better Call Saul. So
Wow.
yeah, so
Yeah.
this dude's killed it. This is a long time later, but yeah. So he made a career after this. And then the only other thing I had on here too was that two more things. So Shuko's company, we see one shot of his logo on a building. And
Yes.
it's the fucking Safeway logo, dude.
Safeway, dude. Nice. It just tilted at a more exaggerated angle, but
Yeah. This shot is like, looking up at a building, and it's a horribly definition screen grab. But yeah, dude, straight up, Kokoshuko is still alive. He just runs Safeway now.
Shuko, baby.
That's his whole front business. And then the other star, the other transformation that we didn't talk about. So beginning of the movie, their car, the wagon gets destroyed after that chase with a Bobo. The ending scene, we see the car gets a makeover, dude. It's now the dragon wagon, dude.
Yes, that's true. I
So-
did notice that at the end.
Yeah, it got a full-on white paint job. It's got the dragons on the side. Somehow Alyssa Milano knew that was gonna happen, and so she got her homies to repaint the car while they were fighting inside. She brought Exhibit. He came in, threw a wrap on it, threw some rims, replaced, look at those
He pimped the
taillights,
car.
dude. Yeah, he pimped it out for sure.
Dude,
Uh,
like how did they Yeah, exactly, right? Like how there's no fucking way that
somehow
was even possible, because they were literally there, got surprise attacked as they were talking.
yeah,
She didn't even know they were coming.
Yeah.
They fell into her lap when they were there.
yeah. She said
And-
they just found it out on the streets and then decided to paint dragons on it.
Found it out on the streets probably the same day. Well, it looked like the same day.
Yeah,
Like it didn't show them like sleeping anywhere or night passing.
yeah.
It was
Night,
same day.
the night only came again at the end. I think the whole movie takes place over 2 days. Because yeah, they start getting attacked during the day. That's the whole thing. That's Kogashuko gets all the gangs to attack him during the day, even though the police are around. So yeah,
Just
it's
some unbelievable filmmaking, but
dude,
movie
and-
magic, dude.
yeah, incredible paint job. Less than 24 hours to throw some dragons on the wagon. It's fucking
Get it
dope,
fixed
man.
So it's working, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
what about your final thoughts, dude?
Just to reiterate on, I think what I've probably said a few times, but just that it's a really fun movie. Doesn't take itself seriously at all. if a movie had branded itself as being serious, but ended up being this and like really campy and ridiculous, then I think the movie would have missed the mark completely. Which is what sucks because I feel like people think the movie missed the mark, but I'm not quite sure that it did. I think the directors and the writers did exactly what they wanted to do, and I'm here for that. So I think, like I said earlier, it leaned into what it was supposed to be, and because of that, it's one of the more fun movies that I've seen in a really long time. Like I've seen,
100%.
people want to go and they want to see these like masterpiece, epic, Oscar-worthy movies, and like, where's the fun of just watching something that's really fucking out there and just really makes you laugh. It's ridiculous. It's fun. Where's that kind of stuff? And I think that we lose a lot of that with a lot of the movies that come out now because
Yeah.
now people are just so much like, hey, like this movie, how do we ground this and how do we make it so realistic that it's so good? But where's the unbelievability of it, like the fantastical element of movies where of course this isn't real, this is so silly and dumb, but it's a movie. I don't know, it's a movie, it's a fun movie, and that's what I wanted it to be, and that's what it was. And I don't even think that this is a nostalgia thing for me because I honestly didn't remember like 90% of this movie.
Yeah.
So
Same here.
there were
It's
some images that popped up where I was like, okay, I remember that, but I didn't remember what the plot was when I watched it yesterday. I didn't remember, lines. I didn't remember the music. I didn't remember any of that shit. So yesterday I felt like I was watching it again for the first time.
yeah.
Um, and I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was bad at all.
I would definitely watch it again. And sorry, Melissa. Yeah, there were no Power Rangers in this one. So
Unfortunately. Yeah.
unfortunately, but maybe when we get to the 2000s, we'll bring them in. Because that movie's crazy hilarious too. Um,
It's-
but I would
I think this
definitely. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is probably one of my favorite video game adaptations to a movie.
I
It's hard
think
to
so.
do, but it's hard to create a story out of a video game. But um, I
Yeah,
think that this is probably one of my favorite ones. I think Mortal Kombat, the first one, is probably my favorite, and then this definitely has to be number two. But I haven't seen Street Fighter in a very long time, so I'm not sure how that's gonna hold up.
yeah,
That could potentially take number two. I don't know. But this is number two for sure because I can watch. Like the whole thing went by really fast.
yeah.
I mean, it was
It's
just
like
really easy to watch.
90 minutes, I think, is the runtime. So it's definitely just a quick one. But yeah, I would definitely watch it again. It's like you said, it's really fun, really outlandish, and yeah, man, it's personally for me, it's up there, and I think part of it's the element of surprise because I had forgotten all about this movie, but it unlocked so many of those like childhood memories of mine. I didn't even realize I probably watched this movie a lot. I probably rented it a ton. Um,
Yeah. So do you think some of it was nostalgia for you, and like not necessarily that you thought it was a good movie?
no, it's weird because like you were saying, I didn't remember a lot of it before watching it,
Yeah.
but it gives like this this window into the 90s. Like it's so 90s, so
It is so
specifically
90s.
90s,
Yeah.
because I feel like the 90s they did a lot of future, but like near future, but they took it to the extreme.
Yeah.
So it's like this really outlandish, crazy, time capsule concept of I keep on going back to it. Like if you want to show somebody what the 90s was and looked like here's 90 minutes of Double Dragon. Like this encapsulates everything, dude. Like
People always thought the
uh,
world was gonna be over by the year 2007.
yeah, it's
They're like, but
crazy.
here we are. It's 2021, and the world is pretty much the same still, with just some technological advances, but
Yeah.
nothing,
We didn't
nothing
we didn't
crazy like
advance
that.
anywhere else. Just technology.
Yeah,
Uh,
and that's because of the aliens. But that can be a different. Well, that'll be a different show. we,
yeah.
won't, we won't digress like that.
That'll be when Retro Relapse catches up.
That would
to
be
the
fucking retro
2021.
future. Yeah, I don't
Um,
know.
yeah, man, it was fun. A little bit, but nostalgia in the sense of like 90s nostalgia, not specifically this movie. But I would definitely watch it again, man. It was a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of retro relapse. Let us know. If you guys watch the movie, throw it on. It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, free.
There's also oh, is it free without Prime?
Oh shit. I don't know actually no, you probably have to have Prime for it to be free.
Um, but there is a totally free version on YouTube that I may have pulled some from.
YouTube.
Yeah, possibly it might be on there.
It could be on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be
I
on
know.
YouTube if you search the entire title in 1994. It might be there. Melissa's
Could be there.
saying, do the Power Rangers one next, the one with the purple goo, my fave.
How funny, because I one of the last throwing backs for the last show I was on, Heroes and Brews, we did one of those and I watched it recently and it was
Ivan
it was
Ooze, baby.
with Ivan Ooze, yeah. And that was a good movie too. That I hadn't watched it, dude, since I was a kid, so
Yeah.
that was really awesome. It was really fun. I definitely enjoyed this movie more than that one for sure, though. That was more geared towards children.
Yeah.
This you could watch it as an adult and still enjoy things from this.
And laugh at it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The other one is more. It's exactly this movie, but aimed at children.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
they kept it below the PG-13.
Yes,
There was
exactly.
not a channel 69 in that one.
There was not a channel 69. Exactly.
There was not a oh shit.
There was no oh shit, but he didn't even finish saying oh shit. He said
Yeah.
oh and then they cut him off.
Yeah.
So yeah, well,
It was good. We'll get there next.
we'll
But
get
yeah,
there.
thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. We're throwing them up on YouTube. They're have we put it on audio only yet? I don't know.
We will going
will.
forward from now. So this, I guess we should just say, yeah, we're gonna throw this on podcast format too for everybody. I know that if you're listening to it, you're not gonna be able to see the images, but you'll be able to at least listen to Sean and I's thoughts on what we think.
Yep. Our laughter and our just tearing apart movies, but it's still fun.
Random tangents that go off for like 20 minutes
Yeah.
about fucking the whole meta thing now that they're called
Yeah.
Meta, not
Yeah.
Facebook.
The whole the future.
Future.
Yeah, man. I had a good time. I hope
Me
you did
man.
too.
This was a good one.
Yeah, it was a fun movie to watch. Highly recommend it still.
I would watch it again, to be honest, like really soon.
Absolutely same. All right.
Yeah, I'm Dan. So thank you. This was awesome. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, whoever tuned in. Thank you everybody on YouTube who watches this. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. We're gonna keep doing it. So
Yeah, and we're
next
growing
one.
here, so any and all feedback, criticism, if you guys hate it, if you guys hate us, leave a comment. Don't dislike it because of the algorithms, but yeah, just let us know.
Yeah, if you hate it, don't tell me. But if you like it, then definitely tell me a whole bunch.
For sure. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. I think we'll be back not this week, but next week on our regular Wednesday, and we're starting to upload these on Friday now. So look for it up on YouTube on Friday. Follow us, on Instagram for the latest. It's _ Legion of Geeks _ and then Legion of Geeks everywhere else. So
It's up on the top, right? Yeah, it's up
Yep.
at the top above your head, I think, right now in this moment. Our Instagrams are all up there, so you'll find what you need from up there. Just look above Sean's head.
right.
We'll let it scroll
Right
through
there.
one more time. There you go. There's the Instagram.
All right, Marcus, dude.
All right, bud.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Noise.